Hello, welcome to soccerlens TV. I'm Andy Brassel. Now we're going to be looking back at the best of Europe from the weekend, and also about all the issues surrounding European club competition at the moment, because of course we had the Champions League and the Europa League action last week, and we're going to have it again this week. So we're going to start in England, and a bit of a damp squib in the race for fourth place in the Premier League, with Manchester City and Liverpool, a rather uninspiring 0-0 draw at Eastlands. In one sense though, this did allow the race for fourth place to hot up a little bit. Spurs took advantage just up the road at Wigan, winning 3-0 to go into fourth place, and it's Harry Redknapp's men who are in possession at the moment. But really, what everyone's been talking about this week is the possibility that the Premier League are mulling over at the moment of a playoff for that fourth Champions League place, and that would be between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th at the end of the season, to decide what happened there. More on my own thoughts on that in a minute, but the only frame of reference we really have for this so far is the Eredivisie in Holland, and it's an experiment they ran for 3 seasons between 2005 and 2008, and then got rid of under pressure from some of the biggest clubs like Ajax and Feyenoord, who felt they would miss out in this playoff between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Now, in the last season this did happen in 2008, Ajax did miss out. They finished runners-up to PSV in the league, and yet they were beaten by Twente from Enschede in the playoffs and had to settle for the UEFA Cup despite being runners-up. But also, I don't think this is something that's particularly weighted in favour of the big clubs. But smaller clubs can really miss out too if they have an exceptional season. Say, for example, in 2006, where RZ came incredibly close to winning the title, just losing out on the final day in the championship, and they didn't even have the consolation prize of the Champions League place because they were beaten by Ajax in the playoffs after they were incredibly deflated by that last day title loss. So I think you could apply a similar criteria to the Premier League if you look back to 2005, for example, where Everton produced an exceptional season under David Moyes to finish 4th. This could have been taken away from them if there was a playoff thing in such a place. So I'm not sure it particularly is something that's weighted in favour of the big clubs. I don't really think it benefits anyone. I think it's more matches, it cheapens the league as well as the Champions League itself, and all it's centred around is making more money, although it's ostensibly to provide more excitement and motivation for teams who feel they can't get into that top 4 monopoly. Now, if we go across to Portugal and look at some genuine champions, FC Porto, who've won the title for the last 4 seasons, it was a real last chance saloon for them this weekend, that they started proceedings 9 points behind Benfica, who were top, and 8 points behind Braga, who were their visitors to the Estadio do Dragão. They really needed to win this to stay in the title race, and they did it in spectacular style. Now, Braga had only conceded 8 goals in the first 19 matches, a tremendous record. They nearly doubled that, conceding 5, losing 5-1 to Porto, who were in really fine form. Radamel Falcao, the Colombian striker whose winner defeated Arsenal in the week, got another 2, taking his tally to 23 for the season already, his first in Europe, and a really tremendous achievement. And it was a real boost for Porto, not just because they showed their champion attitude that they could stay in the title race, but it's been a bit of a mixed week for them. That they did really well to beat Arsenal in what was a really spirited performance, but on Friday they got some very bad news, something that had been lingering since before Christmas, the issue of Ulk and Christian Sapanaru, who were involved in this tunnel punch-up just before Christmas at Benfica. Now, the Portuguese Football League finally ruled on this. Now, Ulk was banned for 4 months and Sapanaru for 6. Now, they'd already sort of sidestepped the Sapanaru thing by shipping out on loan to Dinamo Bucharest, but Ulk, who's one of the young stars of Europe and has been linked with big money moves to the likes of Manchester United over the past year or so, and has been so outstanding in the Champions League. It's a real blow for him, and of course he got his first outing in 2 months against Arsenal, not being banned from European competition. The Porto players read out a statement before the game in support of their teammates and saying how unfair they thought it was. But whatever happens in this situation, they are going to appeal. It just shows that Porto do have a real fighting spirit, that they could get on with it. And I think the fact that Mariano Gonzalez, the Argentinian who came in for Hawk, he was the one change from the Arsenal game against Braga, and he did so well, and he's done very well for the last couple of months. Shows that they have a decent depth and the ability to cover for the loss of such a big player. Now, myself, I was at some European action last week. I was at Fulham against Shakhtar Donetsk, and I think it was a terrific advertisement for the Europa League. A lot of people have written it off already, and it's been going less than a season. I think that's really unfair. You've got to give a chance for the format to bed in and to see if it can be something beneficial. I think this game showed what a phenomenal job Roy Hodgson has done at Fulham. I think particularly in the performances of players like Bobby Zamora and Damien Duff, the fact that Hodgson can get them playing better than they have been in years is a real credit to him. But they're going to feel a tough task, I think, in this second leg in Donetsk. Of course, they have this beautiful new stadium, the Donbass Arena, that built with Euro 2012 in mind, and that will be full of 50,000 fans, as their captain Dario Serna was telling me after the game. But Shakhtar, of course, the UEFA Cup holders in the last edition of that tournament last year, and they played some delightful football in London. They pinged it around beautifully, and I think really that they showed, in one sense, that there's a bit of a gap really does exist between the Europa League as is now and the Champions League. The fact that they can't seem to get out of the group stage despite playing some very attractive football and some good matches individually, that they haven't managed to go further. But it is possible for that gap to be bridged. Of course, CSKA Moscow, another team from the former Soviet Union, are a great example of this. They won the UEFA Cup in 2005, and they finally managed to get through to the last 16 of the Champions League, which is where they'll play Sevilla this week. So hopefully this is what will happen over time. The Europa League will become really competitive, and it'll bridge the gap between the medium level clubs and those aspirational ones trying to do better in the Champions League going forward, so we can have more variety and better competition in that. Anyway, thanks for joining us again. If you want to send in any questions, please do so underneath. I'll be updating relatively frequently my own website, www.allornothingtv.net. Please tweet me with your questions, twitter.com/Andy Brassel. Hope you enjoy all the action this week, and we'll see you again.